back to the episode.
Exo Kitty. I don't know, we're doing deep voices. Season 1. Alright. It is time to scream about all the awesomeness that went down in the show.
I just wanted to say that I'm really glad that you watched this with me and that you liked it.
Me too. This was really super fun to watch. I had a good time.
I really expected me to show you just the first episode. And then, not expecting this to get this far.
I liked the first movie. Because, it's one of those shows that's, as long as you know what it is going into it, it's fine. For me, it's very, very light and fluffy, and I'm not used to that. So, it's like eating too much candy for me. These kinds of shows where it's too sweet, it's overwhelming, and not what I'm used to. I'm used to more, nefarious things happening in TV shows. So I was kind of always is somebody murdered? Is Day really blackmailing Kitty? What is but it was never nefarious because it's very light and kid friendly.
Well, I mean, there's blackmailing, but
there's blackmailing, but it's wholesome blackmailing. You know?
It's wholesome blackmailing.
It is. So yeah. So honestly, it was good, and I agree. It was hard for me. It was slow in the beginning, because they really took their time to set up the characters and honestly peel back the onion layers. They peeled them back pretty slowly. So at first, you said in the last episode, some of the characters felt two-dimensional, they felt like caricatures, they didn't feel like people. But I think the writers are very slow to peel back the layers of those characters and show you the full human underneath. And maybe if they did that faster, it'd be easier to get into quicker. But honestly, once they started doing that, it was very easy to get into the show, I felt, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Kitty, so it was easier for me also at first because I knew the character. It's always helpful when you know the characters going in.
Yeah.
I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot to say for what I want to happen later, yes. But we need to focus on the character discussions.
Okay, we're not used. Listen, for everyone out there who's judging us, we're not used to having shows that get another season, so it's very exciting to be able to speculate about a season 2 because it's usually canceled by the time we're ready to record. So this is uncharted waters for us. I'm excited. All right, so let's start our screaming with Kitty, because Kitty, I mean, the show, her name is literally in the fucking title, so let's talk about Kitty.
However, I did forget that she was in the show sometimes.
Oh my god.
because they made all the other characters so well-rounded, and they give them storylines, so we have so much to talk about, but this is about Kitty right now. And
it's Kitty time.
Boy, did she learn some stuff about life this season.
Honestly, she needed to.
Yes, the tree of life.
The tree of life,
Isn't that a thing?
Or tree love. You can't bring up the tree and expect me not to comment. That's just not how this works. The circle of life. Is it? No, I think tree of life is a thing. It is a thing. Not in the show, but in mythologies, etc. Anyway, that's not important, but what is important is Kitty. So, okay. What did you think of Kitty? So you're more familiar with Kitty, from the movies and, her overall arc, through the universe of this kind of show. So what did you think of Kitty, I guess in this show compared to, Kitty in the movies?
I feel like she was pretty similar. Throughout the whole thing, she doesn't lose herself at all. She's always true to her character that she always started out with. She always has a lot of energy. She throws herself into everything. She gets herself into some weird situation. She always means well. Yes. She never does anything nefarious, no matter how much Theora's brain wants her to.
I am shaped by the media that exists. I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. She's not a mean bone in her body. And the experience of going to Kiss, she does grow, like you said, which is good, but you're right. It doesn't destroy her, completely change who she is. She doesn't do a one, it would be very easy for a character to like, I'm finally away from home, let me go wild, and like completely like almost like becomes a different person. That's not Kitty's journey. And I think like, because she came from such a loving environment where she was allowed to just be herself, she wasn't the character that would have done that. So yeah, the writers didn't write her like out of character at all. She just grew naturally, I guess.
One of the things like I loved when she was younger is that she always had these lines that would make her seem like such an older person. Like she had like these it seemed like she went through like so much, even though she's so innocent. You know that she's researching and reading books and just like taking on everything and absorbing all the info around her. And I think once she got to Korea, she realized that life isn't like a lot of the things that she read. Sometimes it is, but it's a lot harder when it is yourself, just like the synopsis said. Like Absolutely. She's realizing like, oh shit, love sucks.
Or like, how do you love this person when you've not cohabitated with them? Or like, because like think about it, like if because Kitty and Day met when they were like young teenagers, and like who you were at 13 is not who you are at 16, 17.
Yeah.
Like while they're young, like both of them went, you know, you still grow a lot and you mature, and that does change you. Like that whole growth process changes you in a way. Like Kitty didn't change her essence of who she was, but she is developing into like adult self. And so like, yeah, they're not the same people they were when they met 13 years ago. So when Kitty concocts this scheme to basically go to Korea, yes, to become closer to her mother, but also to like basically pursue Day for real, like they are different people at that point in time. Like the essences of who they are is still there, but they're different. They're not the same. And Kitty and Day are both not done growing. They're in the middle of all of that. So she made the PowerPoint where she's like, yes, it's Romeo and Juliet without the tragedy, and like we're gonna like end up together and all this stuff. But it's like you're basing that off of like a 13-year-old fantasy, not like necessarily the realities of life. And so yeah, she learns that lesson hard because she meets other people that she has a feelings for, and it's like, oh, this wasn't in my Romeo and Juliet fan fiction I was writing about us. Like, you know,
she kind of like pictured like this as her main character moment. And yes, it's ironic because it is her main character moment. I know. But at one of the scenes where she was drinking a lot and Q goes, we're not on Kitty time, because she wants them to go dancing with her. And I do feel like slightly bad for her, because I know like when drinking, like you just want to keep having fun, and if someone like tears you down when you're drinking, like it feels even worse. With my very limited experience of drinking, but like it makes depression right. afterwards worse. I feel like,
for sure.
So all of that stuff, and then at the same time, she's like, "Oh shit, I love Yuri."
Well, yeah, but also like, okay, yes, we will definitely talk about Yuri. But I love that line from Q too, because yeah, Kitty makes a lot of things not about herself, but she like centers herself and meddles a lot. Like she's been constantly meddling. And yeah, so I like that he said that to her. He's like, hey, like, not everything is about you, is what he's basically saying. And so I think that that's a reality check that like children have to learn, because when you're young, like really young, like a toddler, in middle school, like a lot of things revolve around you in family dynamics, because they have to, because young kids are not, you know, while they are their own people and they have their own autonomy, they can't function independently in the world quite yet. Like kids really don't have a lot of like rights, like when you really think about it. And so like because of that, things have to center around you, because
really does suck being a child.
It totally does. And it's like you're forced to be dependent on other people, you know. And so a lot of times, like when you're coming out of that adolescence, like you have to learn to be your own person, and part of that is learning that like as an adult, people do not have to center you anymore, because we are all our own. As adults, you're independent of each other. You have the option to like be codependent or not be codependent with people, and like, so you're learning how to not be the center of attention. And so I really love that line from Q, because yeah, Kitty tends to like be like, I know best, and then meddle in other people's lives without like listening to the other people. Like, she just like, she means well for sure, but like, she's not like really listening to her friends. Sometimes she's just like, I know what's best for them, let me meddle and matchmake and do whatever, versus like, Q's like, you need to like listen to me. That's what I actually need from you, not from you to like make this about you or like go into meddling mode or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Kitty.
Oh, Kitty.
Okay, so confused with Hello Kitty.
Which happens in my brain a lot. Like,
Theora actually did call this Hello Kitty once.
I didn't mean to.
Anything else about Kitty?
Yeah, I mean, I like her. I like her arc overall, because she was kind of annoying in the beginning, because I think it went from like, again, Kitty coming out of like young teenage to older teenage kind of like phase in life through the course of this whole season. I just thought it was wild the way she would just get away with stuff. Like the parents really put up no fight when she's like, I'm going to kiss like tomorrow, like we're leaving tomorrow, and it's like, it's just such a...
Well, I mean, technically she did ask them, and the stepmom like really petitioned for her to go.
But it just happened so fast,
because it's not the family.
I know. I just think
Theora, I just want to put this in perspective. Okay, to be fair, I am an adult, but this happened when I was a teenager too. Like, I could do stuff like this. Like, we just literally made a plan for me to fly to you. Okay, that would, yeah. So things happen like this, and I understand. Like, no, we are both adults and stuff, but I like would just make a presentation to my mom, and things would happen like that. So I do get that family dynamic.
Yes.
Except the dog. I did make a presentation to get a dog. We did not get a dog.
Yeah.
I now have 2 dogs, but that's unrelated.
I love that you did that. That's very on brand for you. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but you have 2 cute dogs now, and that's all that matters.
We ended up getting chinchillas instead.
Oh my god. I love it. All right, Kitty. So, other things to say about Kitty. I thought she was a good protagonist, honestly. And I think this is a Netflix show, if you didn't realize that. I think we have the formula for getting season 2s that I want to go over. When it's a female presenting lead. And I'm going to use the words female and male in this explanation. And I mean female presenting, male presenting. That's what I mean in terms of characters. So when it's male romance, like Heartstopper, which got renewed for season 2 and season 3 at the same time after the season 1 release. A lot of women, female love story shows were getting axed. We did a whole episode about this. Please go check that out if you want to know more.
Cancel your queers. Is Netflix homophobic?
Yeah. The jury's out on that. But I think the formula for getting a female queer lead show renewed is the bisexual, pansexual female lead. And you start this way. You start with female is with a dude. And that relationship goes 0 to 100. Like in the first season. And I mean 0 to 100. And then they break up.
In the first episode.
Yeah. Sometimes the first episode, sometimes it takes a few, but like 0 to 100, like I love you, and then they break up. Cool. Meanwhile, the female lead is having a slow burn romance with another woman, and that's the endgame ship. That's usually the show, I've noticed, that gets extra seasons. At least a season 2. See Warrior Nun, The 100, like Exo Kitty. That's really it. Because, by the way. The 100, whatever. But with those shows, like, again, it gets a broader audience because, like, you have this the straights are on board for that romance, and then all the queers were like, yeah, but those two, there's a slow burn happening here. And then once it's like confirmed, you're like, yes. But then, and this show did it brilliantly too, because they brought another dude back in to keep the straight girls watching. I'm just saying.
And boy, are the straights very interested in that couple.
I'm saying, like, and I'm not mad at it. I think that's how you do it. It's a broader audience, because when it's an Achillean relationship, like two males, straight women watch that in addition to the gay man are watching it, and like anybody else, but like, I mean, like majority of viewers, versus when it's a female-led female love interest off the bat, it loses straight women, and like men, like straight dudes aren't watching that because I can't fuck them. So like it makes a smaller audience. So like I feel like if you do it this way, if it's your bi-pan female presenting protagonist, starts off with a dude, slow burn with a woman, it does better. It just does better because you get a broader audience. This show figured that shit out.
This is a TikTok video if I ever saw one, as in like a TikTok promo.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, and I think it's very, when you first told me that, it was very interesting.
I just think it appeals to more people. As a lesbian, that makes me upset.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I hate it so much.
I hate it so much because it's like we can't win. We feel like we're more niche. But I think that's the story that gets the broader audience. It's more like palatable to many people, and more people can like see themselves.
From a business standpoint, I understand.
Correct.
Because that's you need more people to watch it.
Correct.
At the end of the day, like, yes, we can be upset, but that's what indie stuff is for. Like, mainstream, it would be great to have stuff for mainstream, but at the end of the day, they need to make money, or else we can't have anything. So that's why you can't really be mad at it fully, because we won't get anything else.
Yeah, like, all the feelings are valid. They're valid. Like, I'm angry about it. I don't love this. It fucking sucks, but,
yeah.
But I think, you know, the reality is what it is, and it sucks. Your feelings are valid. But it's like, I think that's why it's important to really celebrate the wins we do get, which it's a shitty sentence to have to say, but like, this getting renewed is great, and it has like an international fan base too, which is also great. It's a POC cast primarily. Are there any white people in this? There's like a token white person.
Yeah.
Q,
Madison.
No, Madison. She's the white person. Exactly. Like, it's great. There's so many good things about this. So I think that's a formula that works, that appeals to a broader audience to get more seasons, and because of that, you can keep exploring other types of queerness and things like that. So, you know, I'm just saying that's the formula I think that works for now.
Theora is a genius, if you didn't know.
I spend way too much time thinking about these things. It's because it made me angry, and I'm like, God damn it, because this is why we can't get First Kill renewed. But like, if one of them had like a male romance lead, and then like, maybe it would have done better. It's bullshit.
Yeah, if they had an Edward Cullen type.
Oh God.
Twilight got all those movies, and First Kill couldn't get renewed.
Listen, oh my God. Twilight is not straight, though, the movies, because Kristen Stewart was in them. And it's Kristen Stewart, so it can't be straight, because even when she plays a straight person, she's Kristen Stewart, and she's not. So, like... Anyway, but Twilight is... Oh my God, bad. Anyway, let's get off of whatever that tangent was and get into... So speaking of messy love triangles, let's get into Kitty's love situation. She's got a dude love triangle going on. We'll start with them, because this won't be as much screaming. So it starts with Day, obviously.
Is there any screaming?
I think they're screaming. So, yeah, Kitty, the matchmaker, is like, I'm gonna matchmake the world because I already got the guy that I want, which is Day. And then she gets there and doesn't tell Day she's going to be there, Because of course you don't tell the person you haven't seen in person for many years.
As soon as that whole storyline, like I knew she was going and he didn't know, I'm like, dude's gotta have a girlfriend.
Right? Yeah, literally first instinct. I'm like, there's no way. This doesn't make any sense. She's good because what is this show about? If she gets there and he's like, yay, then there's no show. So we have her drama.
Failing school.
It's literally her oh my god, that would have been hilarious if it was just her failing school. Because that also was happening.
And it becomes like an educational PBS type show.
A cautionary tale about what happens when you like don't do well in school. That would have actually been what a plot twist. What a plot twist and a deviation from the movies, Kaitlynn. Oh my god. As long as there's queer stuff, I still would have watched it.
We do really well at rewriting stuff.
Oh my god, what if Yuri was her tutor? Anyway, that could have gone a whole nother direction. Okay, wait, so, okay, but of course not. So, Kitty gets there, is like, yay, Day, but then by this point, when Day sees her, he's already being blackmailed by Yuri. Which is great.
Yeah. That just happened, like, probably like a half hour before.
No, like, like, shit's brand new. Like, he's still growing in the stubble to be the beard by the time she sees him. I didn't even sign the NDA yet.
I'm sorry. That was so funny. Okay, I'm good.
Alright, we're probably gonna just keep going with this. So, like, okay, and the reason he's in this situation is because Yuri got outed by the maid. I don't even know. I think it was a maid. I think it was a random person.
No, it was
the maid, right? Yeah, because she was embracing.
Which then we get
Juliana.
to see it.
We do. Okay, we hear about the embracing in the first episode, but later see the embracing. And
it was not embracing. It was more than embracing.
They were like making out in her room. They were being gal pals. Anyway, and so like Yuri's family, her dad is like this like hotel chain and like CEO, I think. And mom is the principal of the school they're at, KISS. So they're both like pretty prominent figures. And I think the school is undergoing like they're trying to impress like a donor, I think.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to say that Gina, I believe her name is, the principal, for having a job and being the principal, because most people in her position of having a husband who's like has a hotel empire,
for real.
I feel like, especially in shows, they would portray as just like the stay-at-home mom. So
yeah,
I'm like, totally. That is a boss bitch.
Yes, which is interesting though, because like in their family dynamic, it's set up like this patriarchal thing where dad's at the top and like everybody's like living in his shadow kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I think that he would allow that,
right? Which is interesting. Now that you're mentioning that. Yeah, so anyway, like when that whole thing gets out, basically like prominent family, traditional kind of family, the family has to cover it up, right, to save the family's image. So we find out through the course of the show that Yuri's mom basically like almost expels Juliana, like Yuri's girlfriend, in a way, like low-key expels her. And she's like, you need to get the fuck out of here. And like, so her parents basically send Juliana to a different boarding school and thus break them up. And the sad part is Yuri and Juliana.
Hold on, Theora thought she was dead for so long.
Yo, I thought she was dead. Because the way they were talking about this shit, they're like, okay, so the way it goes down is Yuri's like, what the fuck? Because like Juliana doesn't tell Yuri any of this. Like, I guess part of this whole thing is like the moms were like, no communication or whatever. So Yuri doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She's just like texting her girlfriend. And her girlfriend suddenly is like ghosting her and like not returning her texts or whatever. So like it seems like she's
just in the trunk of a car tied up.
Yeah, we turned it into Pretty Little Liars in our reaction video because we're like, oh shit, somebody's dead. That is not what happened. She got shipped away.
This is why it's really fun to watch stuff together, because I knew what you were thinking the whole time.
she sends her away. Yuri doesn't know, and it's sad because like at that beginning of that school year, like Yuri and Juliana decided to like be out together. So it's like really sad from like Yuri's point of view, but so anyway, and her dad does some fuckery at his hotel where he's like abusing workers, and it was on camera, which Kaitlynn was talking about in the first episode we did. And so they're like, it's like PR all on deck for the family. They're like, well, we have to be like the perfect family, and I have to make up for this and like show that I care about workers. And so that's how the whole thing with Day comes in, because Day is the son of Yuri's dad's like driver. Like he drives his car. So he's like, oh, we can make this work. My daughter gets a beard, and I'm gonna like be like, look, I care about workers and their sons and all this stuff. And so like that's kind of how that like formed.
He was already the beard, but then he got paid to be like,
yeah, he then got
tuition plus more.
His tuition, exactly,
to be the dad's beard.
Mm-hmm. He's everybody's beard. Yeah, so like Day is basically like really, really stuck in this whole ruse with Day, with Yuri, and so that whole thing sets up Kitty being able to like misinterpret all of that, because obviously, and then because she's not tethered to Day like officially at the beginning, it sets her up to romantically explore her feelings as she feels them. And so one of the ones that also springs up is Kitty plus Minho, which they're like the enemies to lovers, I guess, kind of trope is what they're setting them up to look like, because he fucking hates her. Like, hates her.
I have an issue with this one as well, though.
Ooh. Spill the tea.
So we're skipping to the end with this, but so Minho, we see him have feelings for her in a dream and like try to grapple with that. Not once did Kitty ever feel like this, though.
No.
And then on the plane, she smiles when he confesses that I don't know if he says loves or likes. I feel like love would be too soon.
No, I feel like nobody said I love you except Dave.
Which would make, they've been together for like years.
I know. No. I think he was basically like, I have feelings for you, is kind of what that was at. Okay.
But like, Kitty never once like even had the, oh my god, you touched my neck.
No, there was no slow-mo action with Minho. It seems out of place, but I have a speculation on why that happened when we get into our speculation section. Okay. But yeah, if from Kitty's point of view, it does look like it comes out of nowhere. But I think it came out of shit that preceded her conversation with this dude. I think it's a he's there scenario versus like, oh, I've been pining for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's gonna be her beard.
I think he's gonna be an experiment, and we'll get into.
Yeah, I know. It's like we want to talk about the future so bad.
We'll get into that. I know we're gonna speculate. But okay, yeah, there's some fuckery that goes down with him. But yeah, the feelings, that love triangle piece is very one-sided from him. But what really annoys me about this, though, it's not that could be a thing with him and Kitty. That part doesn't really bother me. Whatever. What bothers me is that the way this kind of frames him, and it might be true to some dudes, I don't even know, but he basically like, he didn't care about her as a person until he started having these feelings. So like up until that point, he's like, fuck that girl, get her out of here, I hate her. Then he has this dream that's like romantic, and now suddenly he's like, oh, she's a person. And I really hate that, because it's not like they became friends or like had any kind of bonding together where he like sees her as a differently, like, oh, maybe she's not so bad, or like maybe we have things in common. It's because he had a romantic dream about her that suddenly she's now a person that he's now gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
but I think it was after he helped her cook. So he bonded with her during that.
All right. But still, like, ugh, I don't like it.
I was writing a note, and I was trying to write sound, but we were talking about dream, and I almost wrote dream. So just so you know what I was doing.
Fantastic. But anyway, so like they do start bonding, and she, you know, talks to him about like his mom and things like that. And so like they do have bonding moments. It seems it goes from like 0 to 100 is all I'm saying, like these two from his point of view.
Yes. And then it teleports for Kitty. I'm not over it.
Like, there is no like reciprocation of the anything beyond I tolerate you and kind of see you as a friend from Kitty. Because
it goes from Day to Yuri. Nowhere was it Minho.
Yes, I have theories, but yeah, there was no Kitty pining from Minho. He was just kind of, it's very much all from his point of view. Like he like catches her and she falls one time, and like she saves him from an embarrassing date that, I mean, it's her fault. The situation was 100% her fault.
Also, I learned that a lot of Asian people are lactose intolerant. Did not know that.
Oh yeah. You want to know some real life fuckery with that? So sure. Yeah, that is absolutely a thing. So I was reading a book called Tastes Like War because Libby recommended it to me. Libby is an app from my library, and it was for like the like Asian Pacific Islander kind of like appreciation month. Mm-hmm. And it was like, hey, read this, like free copies to everybody that wants it. And I was like, okay, I'll read it. And it was basically about this girl. I highly recommend this book, and it's basically about this girl who's writing a memoir based on her mom, who was who lived through the Korean War, and it's often called like the Forgotten War and this and that. And the part that it's a great book. I will not ruin it if you read it. It's really, really good. But something that happened during that war is that the Americans who went in there and started all the fuckery and destabilized the country were like, oh, well, we'll give food rations to the people because they like fucked up all their food supply. And what they did is they gave them dehydrated milk. And so the mom who's recounting some of this was like, well, the option was like starve or get crazy diarrhea and potentially die faster because they couldn't metabolize the food that the Americans were giving them.
Damn.
Super.
We are very lactose because they had like cheese as rations, milk. They had like a surplus of milk, which the Got Milk campaign was formed from.
Oh, yeah. That was an American thing. We have a ton of like dairy hanging out. And so, yeah, they tried to give dairy after fucking up their country, gave them dairy, which they cannot eat. Which is just like, again, going into a country, not understanding the people, not understanding everything, and like fucking it up more. It's very
peak American.
Peak American. But yeah, so Kitty is living on that tradition and basically gives everybody cheese without them knowing in their mashed potatoes and like poisons a little bit.
I've never heard of goat cheese in mashed potatoes.
Me neither. So I knew that was some ingredient that it wasn't supposed to be when they were in the kitchen cooking together, because like she had it on a plate and then like throws it in there. But I was like, what is that? I thought it was cream cheese.
Yeah, like I told you during the reaction episode, my mom puts cream cheese in ours,
like, yo, that was a fuckload of goat cheese. Like, that was like $20 worth of goat cheese. Like,
that amount of goat cheese is the same amount as cream cheese that we put in.
It was crazy. It was like a whole plate worth. I've never heard of that before. That is not an American thing that I am aware of. It's I have a ton of money American thing, maybe, which is Kitty's life. All right. Anything else about the Kitty's love triangle? Okay, it's weird. The whole love triangle with the dudes are weird, but like I kind of get why it's happening because drama.
Yeah. Straight up drama. But Kitty has her own little dude bro in Q, and I really love their relationship together. Oh, I love Q.
I know. And I love their friendship.
Yeah.
They're very cute. I don't even know. I love that they're very like, he's not really like closed off to her. So like in the beginning, like obviously like Q and Minho are like ride or die for Day basically. But Q is more like, let me feel out this girl, because like she's been talking to Day for like years. So you know, he's like, let me give her a chance, versus Minho, who just like freezes her out and is like, you're stalking him, get the fuck away.
I mean, they have to know a lot about her as well.
I would imagine so. But like,
if he's telling her all about them.
Right. I would imagine so. But he gives her a chance in person, versus Minho, who's just like, you came here and stalked him and it's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so they form this really, really cute friendship where they're very open and honest with each other. And he, like, you know, confides in her about like his crush on Florian. And
what's really cute is that when she says like, oh, you like him, because she matches Florian and Q up. Well, they already liked each other, but
she like nudges them together. Yeah.
She's like, oh, this is taking too long. This is too well, I mean, see, lesbians move fast, but it takes a while to get them together. That's what I've learned in TV, at least.
Oh yeah, no, it's like 6 months of messaging each other, and yeah, then when the relationship happens, it's real fast.
But she's like, oh shoot, I should not have assumed that you're gay. I don't even know if you're out. I should not. That was terribly rude of me. And then he's like, don't worry, I'm out. I'm very, very gay.
It was cute.
It was cute.
Cute. Yeah, their friendship is adorable. And then, like, so I love that she had him and somebody who is queer and understands that experience. So when she ends up in the situation of, like, questioning everything, she has him to talk to, and he, like, hears her out. And, yeah.
He just seems like such a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know him in real life.
I know. He's very sweet.
Yeah, everything. Even when she's questioning, like, he's just like, oh. I love the scene when he figures out that Yuri was the person in her dream. He's just like, huh. And then, like, basically kind of forces her to, like, talk to him about
Admit it, yeah.
But, like, to be fair, she deserves it.
She does. She does it to everybody else. So, yeah, she deserves it. But I'm glad she has him. And he's very, like, he's a very good friend to her.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what ends up happening with him and Florian and all that stuff. But
Bristol is now joining us.
Hi, Bristol. Bristol has come just in time for all the gay stuff. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. Should we start with Yuri and Juliana and all that drama?
I mean, because we keep trying to talk about it.
Okay, so let's really, really talk about it. Oh my god. I love that with Yuri, it wasn't a coming out story really with her in terms of like her questioning and figuring out. She has her shit already figured out. She's like, I'm a lesbian. I already know this. I am what I am. It was more so her being out, not necessarily like coming to terms with everything. Like Kitty's trajectory is, what am I? Oh my god, what are all these feelings for everyone?
Yuri just wants to find her kidnapped girlfriend.
Yeah, Yuri just wanted to be, Yuri actually at the beginning just wanted to be out, and her and her girlfriend were like, yeah, we're going to be out this year at school, like whatever, we're going to do it. And that comes to a big old fucking halt with
weren't they planning on coming out like being themselves at the New Year's party in Iceland? Wasn't that like when it was gonna start?
But that's what I mean, like they were like, this is the year we're going to do it kind of thing. So like she was at the point where she was ready to like be out with her girlfriend. Like that's huge, right? Mm-hmm. And so I like that that's where we start with her. We don't know it. It's kind of told in flashbacks and like as she gets to know Kitty and like as we get into the season. But I like that that's where the character starts. She knows who she is, right? She just is forced to have a beard. And it really doesn't go well. She's like too confident of a person to have a beard, I think. You know what I mean?
Also, Day kind of sucked at it, didn't hold her hand, and pulled away on live TV.
Oh my god, even when he was being paid He was bad at it. Like, he's not a good actor.
Terrible.
Like, he was the worst.
You know he's always going to be truthful to you. I mean,
oh my god,
when he's not under an NDA, which I did not know that NDAs were the same in Korea. I don't know if they're just doing that because it was an American show, or if they're actually called NDAs there.
Oh, I thought it was just the English translation. Maybe. But yeah, so I do love her, and her relationship with her mom. I really love the journey that goes on, because that's where some of this I need to be in the closet, or at least not be in public and be me. Because when we first meet Yuri too in the pilot, like, she's basically like shopping. She comes out of the store and there's like photographers taking her photos. So like, she's somebody who's in the public eye in the same way that like Minho's parents' divorce was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be really difficult to balance, like, who you are and like internally versus like who you are on blast, basically, because of like who your parents are, which is really Yuri's journey. Granted, having all that money makes it a lot easier when you could pay off beards and stuff, but still, like, you know, and then we come to find out, like, throughout the course of the journey, I like the course of the journey with her mom, because the mom is presented in the beginning as like, yeah, you need to like be away from Juliana, and you need to like, day's great, whatever, keep that shit up. But like, the mom like kind of comes to terms with it when she finally gets to that point where she's like, oh, fuck it, I'm gay. Like, like, fuck it, like, enough of this. Like, and I do love that that's her journey, because like, she knew who she was and was just like, I'm tired of like playing games. It's basically what that scene was all about. Like, she's like, I'm done playing games with my family. I'm supposed to be able to be me when I'm with my family, not
she's like, this whole family is a mess right now anyway.
Yes. Oh my god, her dad is fucking crazy. Like, by the end of it,
every time you mention him, I'm just like, I can't even see his face. He got pissed off at the mom for crying in public.
I know, which I think is I don't know, some patriarchal nonsense, but like, are they getting a divorce in season 2? I hope they are.
I hope he doesn't even show up in season 2.
I hope they get a divorce over summer break and we never have to see him again.
I think it's winter break.
Whatever. I don't know what's going on. Over the break.
Because she's only supposed to be there for 1 year. She's not supposed to be there for senior year as well.
But like, was it the course of a year this season, or was it a semester?
Oh no, it was only a semester.
Okay.
This was like their finals for a semester.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay. Sorry, try to think in school years again. But whatever, over the break, I hope he's gone.
Yeah, because Chuseok is in September. And that's like halfway through the show.
Cool. Perfect. But yeah, anyway, I like that Yuri and her mom actually got to have a conversation and like talk to each other and get on more of a I see you for who you are kind of footing with each other, which is not where we kind of started, where it was all like pretenses and like pretending. So I like that. I'm hoping that helps both of them like relax, you know, especially when they're around each other.
Yeah. I hope her mom. Nope, it's not the speculation section yet. It's really hard for us.
No, I mean, go ahead, mention stuff, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I really hope her mom continues the growth the next season.
I agree,
and the fact that we actually get to see it is so amazing.
Yeah, I know. I think they definitely set up her mom for like continued growth, because it's almost like I don't know. It's like, it's got to be a weird spot for her mom to be, because her mom went to that school too. She was friends with Kitty's mom. There's all adult drama with them, with what happened with when they were in high school or whatever. But it's almost like she got put into a box when she got married to Yuri's dad, and like, I don't know. It seems like she's kind of breaking free of that too and trying to be more of her own person.
Sorry,
it's okay.
No singing. I'm back. I'm back
from outer space.
Theora, you need to stop.
Trying to get you to sing.
I don't
turn around now.
Which one is that?
Oh, that's damn. Oh, I Will Survive. I will survive. Hey.
Oh! It this was on the other platform, we could have played it.
Send hate mail to the other podcast streaming platforms.
Don't,
No,
because if we actually, like, somehow this gets big, then people will do it, and I don't want to be responsible for that. People are crazy on the internet.
People are crazy on the internet. All right. So let's move on before we get in trouble. What did you think of Yuri and Juliana's relationship?
Well, I mean, I feel like Juliana did not get a fair chance, because as soon as Kitty was interested, I was fully Kitty and Yuri. But I think it's going to be interesting. Juliana comes back at the end, and it seems like when they were talking that Yuri and Juliana weren't together anymore. Like, the conversation with talking about Kitty, it was a very weird conversation. It seemed like they were more best friends than girlfriends. So then when at the end, when she's like, I didn't come to see Kitty, I came to see you, I'm like, but you were talking to her about Kitty. So I don't know. I feel like the relationship's a little odd.
I think that was jealousy at the end, is what you were picking up on. Because Yuri won't stop talking about this new girl. That was jealousy. So your point is valid that, like, we don't really see Juliana enough, but we get glimpses of their relationship, and
they're very comfortable and confident together.
Yes, no, they definitely are, and they definitely have a relationship where they're, open with each other, like you said. It doesn't seem like it's a fleeting kind of thing. Like, it seems like they have a history. At least something solid as a relationship. And I really liked Juliana because we get a scene where, Yuri's like worried that she's missing, and then Juliana like randomly pops into the school and like is hiding in a closet, which is the irony of that, and like pulls Yuri into the closet, and they have a conversation basically. And it seems like they are friends, like they have a friendship kind of relationship at minimum. And that's what they kind of talked about, like, this is where you knew it was doomed, where they're like, well, like, New Year's, they're making plans for the future. They're like, we're going to do all these things like we talked about, and like run away and like be ourselves and like be free. And they had that kind of relationship. So it sounds to me like they're both like rich girls repressed because of their social standing situations with their parents, and found comfort / were able to be themselves together, like with each other. And that's really like where their bond kind of is. But Juliana seemed like a very nice girl. She seemed good for Yuri in the sense that like she lets Yuri be herself, and that seemed very reciprocated. And like, despite getting kicked out of her school because of, like, she didn't do the thing that the nefarious thing that I was anticipating, where like she's like, I have to pretend to disassociate myself with you because now I'm in trouble with my parents. And like, she didn't do the self-preservation thing that we often see in these like situations where like closeted girls in rich families get outed suddenly. Like, she very much stuck with Yuri. So like, she has that going for her in terms of like being a good girlfriend. She's like, I will stick with you. They stayed in touch, and she made plans to come back, And I think that like, again, but during that time, like Yuri and met Kitty, and from Yuri's point of view, the Kitty stuff didn't seem very like, I don't know, it seemed like she was like not as into Kitty as Kitty was into her kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Yuri gets into this place where she starts making real friends. So I think that like Juliana was probably her only real friend. And it was kind of one of those things where like best friends, we start dating kind of situation. Because she ends up becoming friends with Day, like real friends. Like, they have a bromance that's very cute. Like, they actually become friends with each other. And she's like, oh, cool. Like, I have friends. Like that. I think
because he's new. The first person to know about Juliana.
Yeah, because she can't be herself around people. Exactly. So, yeah. Right, exactly. And so once, like, the thing that is hindering her growth and, like, her relationships with other people, like platonic ones, is that she can't be herself if she's in the closet. You're right. And so she starts becoming friends with Day because, like, cat's out of the bag. She's, like, very outwardly, like, I'm blackmailing you, and this is why. Like, with him.
He's like, but who's baby? And she's like, It's Juliana.
Yeah, I'm dating
no hiding.
She's
like, I'm beyond that point right now.
Yeah, exactly. And with Kitty too, I think, you know, parts of her, she can kind of like be more open with her. And so it's easy to like be friends with her over time, even though they have a weird relationship in the beginning. But then it's one of those things where like, even when you hate, like, I think it started Juliana's definitely jealous. I think the last scene is like, hey, I don't want to fucking hear about her anymore. You won't shut the fuck up about her. Because I think at the beginning for Yuri, it was one of those things where like she really hated Kitty, because Kitty was like, Day's my boyfriend. This is all bullshit. This is fake. And, you know, trying to mess up the beard ship they have going on. So Yuri has every right to like, every reason to like hate Kitty at the beginning, because Kitty's, in her perspective, is like really annoying and trying to meddle with her plans, which is what Kitty is doing. So I'm sure there was conversations with Juliana. She's like, I fucking hate this girl. And you know those things where
they weren't in contact until Kitty got her in contact with her. Oh, you're right.
Maybe she had like rage messages where she was like, I fucking hate this girl, blah, blah, blah.
Well, no, because at that point she was already liking her because it was at the camp.
I meant before, with like missed messages where she's just like writing her, here's my day. This is my headcanon. Where's the fan fiction? Where she's just like, you know, those things where you're just like, wow, you talking about this person a lot. You don't even like them. Like, I imagine, like...
And they're all not deliver. Right, that's
what I'm saying. Like, I imagine, yeah, Juliana just got, like, so many messages, like, hate rants about Kitty, and then they turn into, like, oh, she's not so bad, and she still won't shut the fuck up about this girl, where Juliana's like, listen, I don't want to hear about her right now. I'm here now. I'm here. Remember, you're dating me. That gave me, like, jealousy vibes at the end.
What I don't understand is... At some point, once Kitty helps her get back in contact with Juliana, how come Juliana didn't write down Yuri's phone number and then just message her? That makes no sense.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. No, it doesn't.
Because they end up talking on their own phones at some point, and it makes no. I just. Okay.
I don't know. Also, can't they like talk on social media? Like, there's other ways for them to communicate, is what I'm saying. It's not just this WhatsApp phone business.
Maybe, I mean, phones can get hacked too, but social media, maybe they're like,
make burner accounts and like talk to each other.
I don't know. I mean, not a lot makes sense.
I know. I feel like the writers just had to move the story along. And so they're like, don't think about this. Don't think about this too much.
It's like, this isn't meant to be a podcast, guys.
No. Right. This is a rom-com. Things are not supposed to make sense. Okay. So yeah. So Juliana is jealous because Kitty finds herself in a love square.
Is this where we're going to go through the whole thing?
We're going to do this with Yuri. All right. So Kaitlynn and I were writing our notes together and ended up with this.
It's one of my favorite things is when I jump into a doc and just be like, hi, I found you. And then we just end up spending an hour. We were texting, and then we end up spending an hour texting in the document.
On the doc, yeah, itself. Not the chat feature, in the doc itself.
Yeah.
So we have evidence of this ridiculousness. Okay. So I'll say my parts, you say your parts.
Okay.
Okay, so this section is Yuri and Kitty. Kitty is really in a love square.
Technically not a square.
What is it?
Maybe a circle dot.
Let's be real. It's a squiggly line between her and Yuri.
Hold on. Then I go to another line. Wait. It's a tree!
OMG. You're right! It's the tree mystery, Kaitlynn. Damn. You really should work for the FBI.
Oh, let's leave these messages here.
Oh my god, you just stole the brain cell from me. Don't delete.
I forgot that that's my line next.
It's because we were writing on the same lines. Anyway, so yeah, Kitty is in a love tree. Kissing with Yuri.
Not the Korean independent schools.
No. Well, she was in KISS with Yuri. So it works on many, many levels. Okay, so you're obviously Team Kitty and Yuri, so...
Yes, I am. Very much so. I mean, I always want the main person to be the
queer AF.
Yeah. There's so many secondary characters that I'm rooting for all the mains to be gay.
Yeah. I mean, she
is bi.
She's canonically queer.
Okay. Can't talk about that. Okay. Focus.
Okay. So, Kitty and Yuri. Go.
Kitty and Yuri. Oh my gosh. It just caught me off guard. And I think I just love that it happened. I'm just glad it happened. That's all please help me with words, Theora.
Okay. So Kaitlynn didn't understand the subtext of their meet cute, which is an amazing meet cute where Yuri hits Kitty with her car.
Because stupid Americans don't know to switch the way they look in other countries.
So yeah, Yuri hits her with the car and then is like, oh, are you headed to kiss? Me too. Let's go together. And I was like, oh, this is a great meet cute. So yeah, obviously. But I like their progression because it starts from, it's very much like an enemies to lovers thing, which are always so fun.
It is.
It's so fun. It makes it satisfying because again, Yuri's in that stage where she's like, I fucking hate this girl. Where it's like she's thinking about her constantly because she hates her. But then it's like
that time when they meet, she doesn't hate her. She's like, oh,
no, but
it's pretty cool.
Not in the beginning. In the beginning, it's let me give you a ride. But then it's like she has to get into that fake relationship with Day, and then Kitty is the actual girlfriend who's trying to break that up and sabotage everything. So it very quickly becomes an enemies to lovers thing. It was I hit you with my car to enemies to lovers kind of deal.
Doesn't they she think friends. That Kitty's nuts too for not telling Day that she's coming?
That is nuts. Like,
I mean, it is nuts, but she says that now Kitty never says the name Day, so neither knew what was going on at the time.
Right, like in the car ride, but then 20 seconds after the car ride, the truth comes out. So like they don't have a lot of time to bond. Oh my god, though, but in the car ride, Kitty says the weirdest thing ever, where she's like, Yuri was basically, she was like, oh, I'll matchmake you with someone. I'm a matchmaker. And it's like, girl, you just got to Korea. Like, what do you mean you're going to matchmake this? She's a stranger. You just got into her car, which, like, weird. And then you're like, let me set you up with the nobodies that I know here. You know Day, who doesn't even know you're coming.
You did get hung up on that. Very much so.
Because, like, this girl is so overly confident. And it's like, you don't even know anybody here. What do you mean? Anyway. I thought that was wild. And it's just like Kitty's naive. And to me, that was like the naive youth. That's like what she's doing. But I like that I like the way their relationship progressed because it was very real in the sense that they ended up bonding over real things. Like they were antagonistic to each other over like a real thing that was happening. And then even that was like, it was hard for them to be in that like enemies stage because they genuinely have things in common and stuff. And so that kind of like very much fizzles out. And it becomes a let me help you, I'll help, like they help each other kind of stuff.
Well, they're also trying to figure out about their moms. So like that helps.
Got the mom drama.
Oh, that's later.
No. The mom drama is also happening. Yes, I have many theories about their moms. At minimum, their moms were friends in school together. And they have this whole, I don't even want to get into that here. I will very quickly recap the adult shit. But yeah, they go on this quest to figure out what happened with her moms based off of, again, the photo album that Kitty brought. And so that bonds them together too. So they're not just bonding over like a dude they have in common for different reasons. Like they have things in common that they're actually like bonding over. But like, it just ends up in a lot of scenarios where like there's not truth being told between them.
There's a lot happening. Like I just realized like we didn't even get to half of the plot points in this show. There's a lot happens.
I mean, we're skimming over stuff. You can just name whatever plot lines you want, but I mean, in terms of deception, like immediately Yuri plus Day is a deception. Mm-hmm. And then even when we get into the mom drama of it all, Kitty figures out like in the mom plot line, one of the moms, aka Yuri's mom, had a secret child who's like a teacher now at the school, and Kitty knows
Alex.
Yeah, Alex, and Kitty knows who it is, but doesn't tell Yuri because that's like her half brother or whatever. And so like there's that deception where like Kitty doesn't tell Yuri she knows, and they start arguing about it in the middle of a fan dance, which is amazing because everybody can hear you. They're having this argument, and like the other girls are like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're performing on stage. I'm pretty
sure Madison was like, guys, we're trying to dance.
Shut the fuck up, guys. Oh my god.
What if Yuri is also Daniel's kid? And what? she just slept with him that one time. And then she made it like the other guy think it's his.
She's just not old enough. Oh, like, but they hooked up again?
Yeah. Just once. Quickly. I mean, maybe. Really don't want the other guy to be in this show.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna. I hope they get a divorce. Is all I'm saying. They're terrible. Yeah. Or he's terrible. But Kitty and Yuri, Kaitlynn, focus.
Kitty and Yuri, I got it. I mean, there's like, okay, the scene where she does realize that she loves Yuri, or like understands the fact that she thinks that Day would come over to her and just say, Yuri makes me breathless. Like, that's what she thinks he said. I know Yuri makes you breathless.
Oh my god. That was so funny. Okay, I will say, I love, okay, because like, in this show, they like to do like the slow-mo, like, they will hone in on like a point in time, like hands brushing or something, and like slow everything down to be like, oh, the character's having feelings. And so I love that it starts with that. And of course, it's like, I'm fan dancing. Let me show you how to do it. And then it's like slow-mo, hairbrush, and like all these things. And it's like, oh, Kitty's gay panic is happening. So I love that. We got the slow-mo gay panic. That was lovely. I don't know if Kitty actually learned how to fan dance because Kitty is really bad at school and many things. And the fan dance was actually ruined by them arguing, so...
it was ruined by the fireworks. Didn't Madison bring that?
Madison did bring that. Because, of course, the
Such an American thing
brought fucking fireworks.
Because you can buy them in Walmart.
You can buy them anywhere. You buy them at the grocery stores in America. America likes blowing shit up, obviously. That's awful. But I do like, awful. I like the episode too. It's pretty fucked up. But the episode where she helps Juliana and Yuri get phone conversations. Meanwhile, they're out in the woods. And like Day's like, let me take you on a romantic woods date and tell you I love you. And he said something along the lines of like, I forget how he said how he feels, where his stomach drops or something. Is that what he said? I can't remember. Something to that effect.
I don't remember.
Where it's like, it feels like my stomach is falling out of my body or something, to kind of explain like how he feels like when he's with her. And then he's like, I love you. And then Kitty at the end of the episode goes back in the tent, because of course there's one bed in the tent with her and Juliana, because of course
only
there
one
is.
Bed.
There's one bed.
It's the only tent with one bed.
It's the only tent with one bed. Yeah, exactly. It's for the roommates, and she's like, I forget. Something happens where she's like, oh shit, with Juliana. She's like, crap. Why is Oh, something happens with Kitty and Yuri where she's like, oh shit, why does my stomach falling out of my body right now? So it's like, basically she like rephrases exactly what Day said. And I love that. It's so good.
Another thing in that episode is when, almost said Juliana, Yuri is helping her get ready. And Kitty has no idea what's going on. And then Day shows up. She's like, you're my date. Of course you are. She's like thinking Yuri's taking her on a date.
But like, the gay panic is so real. That girl doesn't even know who she's dating at that moment in time. Like, that's so real. Like, damn, like she's got it so bad. She's got it bad. And what I love the most though is at the end. So, okay, is there anything you want to talk about until we get to the end with the two of them, with the airport?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's jump to the end. So at the end of this all, Kitty breaks up with Day, and they're like, let's just be friends, like, for real. Because Kitty at this point is like, I have actual feelings for this girl, and she tries to, like, ignore them, but they obviously don't go away. This isn't just some kind of crush dealy or like some fleeting thing. She's like, fuck, this is real. So she gets expelled from school because she's been living in the boys' dorms. Which is a whole other plotline we're not going to get into. But she's been living in Day's dorm, of course, because drama. And gets caught, and then they're like, wow, ethics, you're losing your scholarship. And so she's...
Hold on, Yuri was also living there by the end.
I know. So... It's ridiculous. Like, nobody was living where they were supposed to. It was some tomfoolery. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery. And anyway, so she's leaving and goes to the airport to, like, go back home. Because it's also, like, break time. Mm-hmm. But she's like, crap, I'm going for real. I'm never coming back to this school. It doesn't even try to say goodbye to Yuri. She just, by happenstance, runs into her at the airport.
After she tells Day that he was a great first boyfriend.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then turns around, Yuri?
Yeah, and then Yuri, because, like, time. So Yuri's just standing there, and then Kitty assumes, oh shit, you came to say goodbye to me. Which, how? Girl, you didn't tell her. And I was not expecting this scene where she, like, almost confessed to her feelings, like, fully to Yuri. She's basically, like, getting to it. She's like, well, I kind of, now that I met you, I know what love means. And, like, but before she can, like, get into more than that, Juliana shows up, because that's why Yuri's at the airport, to get her girlfriend. And so then that's when, like, Kitty kind of stopped. But I wanted to see where that conversation was going, because that was going places.
Want to see, I mean, yeah. Also, if Madison and the other two didn't walk in when the fan dance, because they almost kissed. Well, maybe. I don't know. Yuri kind of was like, what are you doing?
Yes, because, like, Kitty just, like, launched into, like, confessing her feelings. And they've never had, like, really any alone moments together where they got close to doing anything. That's why, like, for me, the read, it feels very mostly one-sided from Kitty's perspective, because you're in Kitty's head.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell what the hell was going on in Yuri's head. But, like, you can kind of tell she's interested, but she's like, what is happening right now? I'm confused.
But you can tell when Yuri is talking to Juliana. And, like, plus she's straight. Like, you wouldn't, like, say that. That's why it sounded like she was talking to a friend rather than a girlfriend. Because she's like, she's straight. She wouldn't be interested in me.
Well, I think it's kind of like, I understand where she's saying, it's kind of like you're trying to appease her, too. Because you're like, yeah, I keep talking about her because I'm entangled in all these plot lines with her. But she's telling her, she's like, she's straight. It doesn't matter. Like, she's telling her you don't have anything to be worried about. But, like, yeah, I think that there were feelings simmering there. But when you put somebody in that box of, like, they're straight, it's like, well, I'm not even going to entertain this because she's a straight girl. Like, I'm not going there anyway. So I think for Yuri, like, I don't think Yuri was as deep in the feelings land as Kitty, because Kitty was exploring the feelings versus Yuri, who's like, you're not an option. I'm not going to explore this. So I think what happened in the finale is that now Kitty was putting it out there, and I think Yuri was like, oh shit, like, you actually like me. Put that together, but didn't have time to process any of that because girlfriend showed up. So I think what's happening...
Season 2.
Yes, I think we're going to jump into season 2 shit now. So let's speculate. And
but
then,
we didn't talk about the tree.
We can talk about the tree.
We did. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about the tree. It's fine. Let's jump into... Okay, because the finale is the most important part. And then so let's just wrap up the finale and get into all of our stuff. So the other piece that Kaitlynn and I are both... Well, Caitlynn's mostly annoyed about is that Kitty doesn't get to fully confess her feelings. That happens. She gets, like... She gets twat blocked by a bunch of people and then gets on the plane. And who is sitting next to her? But Minho, of course, because he's going to LA to see his mom. Plausible. He then confesses his feelings to her, and he's like, hey, I like you as more than a friend. And then Kitty, and we have, like, a 20-hour flight together. And then Kitty looks away and kind of has this, like, a little smile, and then it ends. Starting the love square. So,
Tree.
Love Tree.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
On Big Gay Energy. Bye.
Gay it up all over the place. And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing, super gay content.
If you'd like to support us, check out our merch store, or join our Patreon for early access to episodes, exclusive content, and so much more.